What is up, you guys? This is the Wire Up, and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Alright, so, before I get into the story behind this pertinent episode, so I have no face cam because I have gotten my tattoo extended, so it goes all the way around the clock that I have on my shoulder and connects, or it branches off the chest piece I had done. So yeah, it's tender and I can't really wear a shirt at the moment, so yeah. So I'm just gonna do no face cam for a couple days until it heals to where or heals enough to where I can wear a shirt comfortably. So I can do face cam again, but until then, you know, I'm sorry, but no face cam. Yeah, I'm done. So, for this particular thing, it's during one of the nights of the Duelist Kingdom tournament, and Bakura decides that they should all have a duel, except they should put their favorite cards with Yugi's and see who wins. Though, unbeknownst to them, the Millennium ring that Bakura has makes him evil. So whenever they start dueling, they're transported to what is known as the Shadow Realm, which if you lose in the Shadow Realm, kind of the same rules as Freddy Krueger. You lose there, you lose in real life, you die, basically. So, the whole premise of it is to basically not win. And well, the objective for you is to win. The objective for the evil person is to make you not win. And that can kind of be a bit tricky whenever they decide to cheat, or if they decide to cheat at all. Amazingly, most of the time, the bad guys play fair, which is very odd. Or at least Bakura does. There's this one character later on in the game, I hope, that's called Bandit Keith. And he cheats like no other. And ironically, he's probably the only character who's supposed to be American in this entire series. I think the rest of the characters are supposed to, you know, be in Japan, Japanese and whatnot. So they made the American guy the cheater. But you know, it is what it is. But back to the story. Bakura, being like a Jekyll and Hyde dude, the regular Bakura wants to do good, while the Yami Bakura would like to basically steal everything. Steal the cards from the Pharaoh, steal the Millennium Puzzle from the Pharaoh, basically steal everything that the Pharaoh owns. And ironically, in order to do that, they must battle inside the Shadow Realm of a children's card game. How the heck that works, I have no idea. But it's entertaining, and it made a game, so here we are. Now, the only technical problem I would have with this is that the computer always seems to draw the card that it needs to defeat me, which is annoying beyond all belief. Like, that could possibly be Mirror Force, for all I know. Instead, it's Coffin Seller. So yeah, not as big as trouble as I thought I was in. So each time a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, inflict 300 points. That's good. I'm not having any cards sent to my graveyard anytime soon. And if I do, my face down has, I believe, 700 defense. So I don't know. Eventually I should probably use my custom stuff. That way I can mess stuff up quicker. But I might do that at a different time just to I don't know, just to have it done. Then again, I might not, because the game takes a while, and if I use custom stuff, it could take much longer than I think. And if I do custom stuff, that adds on to the list that I need to do, mainly being that I need to do the reverse duels as well. So there's that. I need to go through this normally and then go through the rest of them in reverse. So what I think I'm going to do is go through Generation 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! First, normally, and then go through it in reverse. Or reversed. Not like from the bottom up, but like swap what duelist I am. So instead of being Yugi or Joey or whoever, in this case, I would be Yami Bakura. And I would have to use the cards he has, and so on and so forth. Alright, activate this. Get rid of you. I have one of you in my hand. And alright, so I don't understand that. I should be taking 600 points, but I'm going to set this just in case, and then summon another Dark Magician. Just so I have options to choose from when I pick my Dark Magicians. Oh, shut up. But, you know, I have no idea. It's one of the things where I could do the reversed duels with my custom, but then that takes away from me trying to figure out the strategy that the bad guys would have to come up with in order to beat Yugi, Joey, and all the good guys, which would make it a bit more difficult in a case that I have to go into the bad guy's mind to understand what they were trying to think of and, you know, figure out if their strategy would actually work or not. But it's one of those things where you can't really tell until you try it, or you can't really tell if it would work unless you are that character. So I think I'm just gonna do the reverse duels and then that'll be it. But yeah, then the dark side of Bakura vanishes and they reconcile. But now for PaniK. So how do I explain PaniK? Well, as you can see, instead of like Yugi in the show, PaniK has 2 dual star chip glove things. But instead of only 1 circle that requires 10 stars, he has 2 gloves with 2 slots, so he can hold like 40 stars, which would get him into Duelist Kingdom 4 times. But the idea of PaniK is he's kind of a bounty hunter that Pegasus set up to, I guess, get rid of the most dangerous duelists. Hence why PaniK went after Yugi. He went after, like, Weevil Underwood. Rex Raptor was already out of the tournament, I think. No, Rex was still in the tournament because Joey just took 2 star chips and the red eyes. But PaniK likes to use dark stuff. So the idea behind PaniK is, well, I already said the idea behind him. The actual premise of PaniK isn't that interesting, but you know, when you have to verse PaniK, you kind of have to hear his spiel of, you know, he's the one to beat Yugi, he's the one to beat the king of games and be the next one. But you know, it's basically all just jibber jabber while he's losing, to try to beat himself up, make himself feel better than he actually should. Which is fine, I guess, but it's a matter of the concept of losing rather than, you know, being a dang supervillain and not understanding, you know, you're gonna lose, dude. That's kind of the concept I think they were going with PaniK, the overconfident villain who doesn't believe he can lose. I almost forgot to summon. But I'm gonna set you because you have more defense points than anything. Don't worry, I have a strategy. Don't know if it'll work, but I have a strategy. Come on. Alright, so again, with PaniK being the overconfident dude, he's ironically more defensive than you'd think he would be. So, like this, he uses yellow shield, or in his Sakurutsu armor. Unfound it. So, he plays a lot more defense than he actually does offense, which is very odd for a villain to do. Oh, yellow luster shield. But again, he plays way more defense than he actually should, being a big, strong dude that he's supposed to be. Kind of takes away the facade that he's much weaker than he actually lets on. But it's the thing of that he's not really as strong as he lets on. He's more or less just a wimp that Pegasus picked up to try to beat Yugi. But as you can see, Yugi beats him and the story continues. But I'm going to leave this one here. So thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you liked it, you know what to do. Keep things crazy. And I'll see you guys in the next one.